Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, and safety to all Akim out there pushing his truth to the four corners of the earth and to the hopeful elect out there. This is the brother Hadabiah coming back at you with another one. And I'm just gonna get on Esau, a little bit on this one, because you know they're the ones that are in put in the position of power, you know starting off starting off with the higher elites, the bankers, that that run this world, all the way down to that all the way down to that boss at your job. you know even all the way down to the homeless bum on the street who's an Edomite, you know and and Esau, is a so-called white man, so-called Caucasian man, who is the devil, but it's deeper than that, because you have Edomites that don't even look like they're Caucasian. They can look like Jake, but in this video, I'm getting at the so-called white man, the so-called Caucasian man, who was put in power, and it's okay, you know. Let me get that first. I have that here, bro. Let me get that first. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And that's exactly what Esau has done. This Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, this world was given unto Esau. That's why this place has been polluted, with wickedness, you know and things get worse and worse and worse with each day. It's filth. That's why they're so prideful. They feel untouchable. They feel like nothing is going to happen to them because that they have everything. you know and this is, I'm getting at, from that, from the highest elite to, like I said, that job at your boss, that boss at your job, you know because us personally, we know these, you know higher elites are the ones who are in control of everything, but on a day-to-day basis, we have to deal with these lower level Edomites, who get on our damn nerves, who really don't like us. They don't like us. They don't like so-called Negroes. They don't like they definitely don't like the so-called Negroes. They don't like no Latinos, and they don't like um indigenous natives. They don't like us. They act like they do, but when you hear some of the shit that they say, or by their actions, you can see how these devils truly feel about us. You know, I went through it, and this video got inspired just of something that I went through today. With on the job. Just hearing the way that that they talk, the way that they think, and I laughed. I laughed when when I heard what I heard, but it truly it vexed my spirit. You know, and like when you go through some of these things, in life, you I'm gonna admit it. Sometimes you want to get carnal, because you're just so upset. Then I had to pray, I had to dial back. I said, Lord, forgive me for these thoughts. But just I was begging Yahweh Shem Shai, let me, the ones that oppress over us, you know, us brothers, the ones that are oppress over us, the ones that give us a hard time, you know, these Edomites, Lord willing, we gonna get them in the kingdom, you know, Lord will, we gonna get them and give them hell. So this is Revelation 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, and that's it right there. That patience, that understanding that we're under the curses now. We're in captivity. There's no, we can't get violent. We got to be smart. Esau's running shit right now. All we got to do is be patient and wait on the Lord. Wait on Yahweh Shai to come back, deliver us, and turn this place from upside down to right side up and rule with him. And then we'll be able to put hell on the ones that have always oppressed us, whether it's in this life and in the past life, you know? And these are things that I envision, you know? The spiritual powers, being perfect, many wives, many children. But another thing is just like revenge for what we've had to go through, as a people. What they've done to us over the years, the terrible, wicked things that they have done to the Lord's people, the Israelites. They're gonna get it, you know, and that's what I was meditating on today. Don't worry, we got to take this shit now. We have to be patient and wait on the Lord. We have to, be grounded in this word and remember, the things that, were promised unto us. Lord willing, we make it. And, it's good. I was talking to another coworker, he's a Jake as well, and, these Edomites, they just give us hell. And even Jake was like, yo, like, Jake wanted to get carnal. I just told him, like, I can't disobey the commandments. I just gotta wait on the Lord. I told him I could do, what I could do, in the next rulership far more exceeds anything that I could ever do now. So just have to, be patient and wait on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because he's gonna set up everything right. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 6. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. And that's Esau, man. Esau's a wicked man, yeah. All he does is plot wickedness. He's prideful. All he does is plot, how to better off himself and fuck everybody else. He don't even care. He don't even care about his own people. Damn sure don't care about you heathens, because he knows he has the heathens wrapped around his damn finger. And, he don't like Jake, and that's why that's why we're persecuted. That's why we go through it. That's why Esau is over there getting down on the Haitians next over there in America, because that's how they truly feel. They never liked us, and now and now their true nature is coming out, because we are getting we're gearing up to enter Jacob's trouble. So Esau's true nature is now, you know, um, it's it's being shown. You know, what's that precept? I can't remember it. But yeah, they're just they're being exposed. This is Psalms 10 and 1 in the NLT. Oh Lord, Yahweh Bashem Shai, why do you stand so far away? Why do you hide when I am in trouble? The wicked arrogantly hunt down the poor, and let them be caught in the evil they plan for others. That's all they do. All they be doing is plotting, plotting wickedness, plot how to, suppress and keep, you know, Jake down. For they brag about their evil desires. They praise the greedy and curse the Lord. That's exactly what they do. Especially, the higher ups. That's how this is how they operate. From the higher ups to, I said, the everyday Edomite who's in power. The wicked are too proud to seek the Most High. They seem to think that the Most High is dead. Yeah, because they don't believe. They just believe in themselves. They believe in their power because so much power is given unto them. Yet they succeed in everything they do. They do not see your punishment awaiting. They do not see your punishment awaiting for them. They sneer at your enemies. They think nothing bad will happen to us. We will be free of trouble forever. Exactly. They think judgment ain't coming. They think because they have gotten away with wickedness for decades and decades and generation and have got away with so much killing and murdering and just wicked, evil shit. They feel like they're, they feel like the Lord don't see them. The Lord sees them, and that's why when He comes back, that's why when Yahushua comes back, He's gonna let loose, you know, on this place, because He knows every little thing that they have done ever, and He's gonna judge them for it. Psalms 10 and 7, their mouths are full of cursing lies and threats. Trouble and evil are on the tips of their tongues, man. That's Esau right there. That's Esau right there. Nothing but liars. Can't trust a word they say. They're always plotting on how to take Jake out. They don't like us. They lurk in ambush in the villages, awaiting to murder innocent people. They are always searching for helpless victims. They like to control. Like lions crouched and hiding, they wait to pounce on the helpless. Like hunters, they capture the helpless and drag them away in nets. Their helpless victims are crushed. They fall beneath the strength of the wicked. The wicked think the Most High isn't watching us. He has closed his eyes and won't even see what we do. Yeah, that's their thought. They feel like, we've been getting away. It's like a man who keeps stealing and never gets caught. So he's gonna keep stealing and keep stealing and keep stealing and getting more money and more money and more money. He's gonna keep doing it because he's been getting away with it for so long. But the Most High sees all this. Arise, O Lord, punish the wicked. And that's how we feel. We can't wait for Yahushua to come back and judge the wicked, to judge Esau, to judge 2/3 of our people, and to judge the rest of these heathens. Why do the wicked get away with despising the Most High? They think the Most High never call us to account. But you see the trouble and grief they cause. You take note on it and punish them. The helpless put their trust in you. You defend the orphans. Break the arms of these wicked, evil people. Go after them until the last one is destroyed. The Lord is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is king forever and ever. The godless nations will vanish from the land. Yeah, man. And that's what's going to happen to Esau. After 1,000 years, it's going to be done away with. Lord, Yahweh Bashem Shai, you know the hopes of the helpless. The Lord knows our thoughts. You know, the Lord, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai knows how we feel, you know, being in this captivity, you know, but we have faith. We have hope. We have hope in Yahweh Shai. We know that this isn't forever. This is almost done. This is almost done. And all praises to Yahweh Bashem Shai for that. The Lord Yahweh Shem El Shai knows the hopes of the helpless. Surely you will hear their cries and comfort them. And that's how I felt today. You know, my spirit was vexed. I was upset. And just thinking about, the kingdom, gave me comfort, and calmed everything, calmed my emotions and everything, and that's a beautiful thing about this truth. Because when you're in the world, you got nothing. You got nothing to fall back on. Your emotions just run everything. Your emotions run your actions. But you know, through this truth, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, you just fall back. You just fall back on Yahweh Shai, and it's a comfort. It's a comfort thing. You will bring justice to the orphans and the oppressed, so mere people can no longer testify. It's like you will bring justice to the orphans and the oppressed, so mere people can no longer terrify them. Exactly. So it's coming. It says Job 13:4. But ye are foreigners of lies, and you are all physicians of no value. Everything. They lie, they lie, they lie, they lie, they lie, they lie, they lie. Tell you one thing, but they mean another thing. They tell you something is good for you, but it's really bad for you. You know? That's Esau. Never to be trusted. Like it says, like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. That's Esau Edom. Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Just like I read, they feel like, they're gonna get away with their wickedness forever. That's why they feel like, their kingdom, is never gonna come to an end. You know, and it's crazy because, and that just shows you even these wicked elites, they know. That's why they have their bunkers. That's why they're, that's why they have their escape plan for when Yahweh Shai comes back, because they know Yahweh Shai is coming back. But in their thought is, even when Yahweh Shai comes back, that their bullshit is gonna still continue. They feel like they're gonna have the victory over Yahweh Shai and continue to build their houses and continue to live in wickedness and flourish. But they got something coming. This is Second Ezra chapter 15. Uh, it's like, yeah. Mm, mm. Oh, sorry. Verse 6. I'll start from verse 1 and the point is 6. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, and cause them to be written in a paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the nations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, and speak against thee. For All the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, and the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. That's what Esau has done. Esau has polluted this whole earth. Everything. Everything that they have touched, they have polluted. And that's why the destruction has to come. That's why this place needs to be cleansed, because everything is corrupted. Our clothes are corrupted. The entertainment is corrupted. Our food is corrupted. The air is corrupted. Everything. Esau has found every way, in any way possible, to to cause harm. And that's why, that's why we need Yahushua to return. And to end it off, Romans 9 and 13, it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So the Lord hates Esau. The Lord hates the so-called Caucasian man, and judgment is coming for them. And all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for that. They don't like us, we damn sure don't like them. We tolerate them. We know how to be polite. We know how to operate. But, we know the wickedness that they have done, starting off from the higher elites down to the everyday Edomite. They're wicked and they're going to be judged, and that's beautiful. And, can't wait to have them in captivity, because they did it to us. So the same has to be done unto them. So that's going to do it for this video. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. And salutations to the hopeful elect out there. Lord willing, this video was edifying. Until the next one, Shalom.